about. I want to break down prospects pretty much at every position. So go through quarterbacks all the way till safety. So answer all of y'all questions. So keep it flowing. But it's just not about me, y'all. It's about the community. And there's so many people, talented people in this community that does talented work. And so I sent out the bad signal, y'all. I sent out the bad signal to all my dogs and like, listen, it's gonna be a party. Everybody pull up as we gear up to get ready for this NFL draft. So I want to say they're guests, but they're not guests of the NFL game. These are my brothers and sisters. So let's go ahead and get it popping. I got DMV in the building. I got Lou in the building. What's going on with y'all, bro?
What's good?
What's up, man?
Good, man. Like I said, man, it's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes from y'all channels, my channels, just across the community. And we got a lot to talk about. But I wanted to bring Lou in specifically. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring in Lou because Lou's been in the chat. My daughter Lou's been in the chat, man. But before we get to these conversations, man, make sure y'all subscribe to these fellas' channels, everyone's channel, to make sure y'all lock in with them and definitely get some quality content for both of these guys, man. I definitely trust the work that they do. But Lou, I was going to talk to you about something, man. I know you have been banging the desk for this Team Trenches thing, right? This Team Trenches thing. So go ahead and explain, like, for our viewers out there, dog, what's your thoughts on Team Trenches and why do you think the Dallas Cowboys should go to offensive line when it comes to 12th overall pick?
Yeah, I just want to start out by saying I'm Team Trenches. I wouldn't be mad if we take a running back, receiver, or etc. I'll be happy either way.
They said Lou got a scope on him. I see.
Yeah. It's focusing. My bad, y'all. It does
what that is, man. That's Team Weapons, man. Team Weapons got the scope on Lou, man. There you go, dog.
So how I viewed the way I've evaluated the team and what's been happening these past couple of years, I just can't help to think that we've been losing games, and especially like the high tier games, the exact same way. And it's because we're not tough enough, we're not physical, and it's mainly I'm saying it's up front, because that's where if you take a thermometer of a team and you want to measure where a team's physicality come from, and it can't come from anywhere but up front. Like you can have physical players on the outside, but if your guys up front aren't physical, you're not going to be physical as a result of it, because 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, 4th and 1 you only can do so much with the guy behind him. And I love the guy that's behind me, but if I don't do my job and I don't pave my way, he don't get jacked. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm saying this, because I've been saying this for a long time now, is we've been needing a changing of the guard, and that's why we've been pushing it. It's time for a changing of the guard. I know it's been seeming like we've been pushing O-line, every year, but I felt like we had it in a season. Our stars were decaying. They were getting older. They were hurt. And we've been pushing like, okay, let's move on from these assets a long time now. And I think that's why the Cowboys have been putting a lot of resources into trying to find the next and get them out of here. But they've been missing, or they'll have somebody there that's ready to peak, but we're waterlogged or we're clogged at a position and we have the force to let them go. And now they're, Pro Bowlers elsewhere. So I think this all ties back around to the mismanagement of this team. And how we all have we're crying for the same thing at the same exact time. And I think this ties back to this is bad mismanagement, bad planning, because we incorporate too many things when it's time to pick, our players.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Lou. When it comes to the trenches specifically, right, is there a position that you're looking at? Because I know you've been talking about from the inside out. So are you referring to guard, tackle, or just offensive line entirely?
Well, yeah, I'm targeting just 2 guys.
Okay.
Like I have a very select few. Like I put out a tweet, like, okay, of the top tackles, like my number 1, I think is a home run, is either Tyler Booker or Josh Simmons.
Okay.
I would be okay with type of picks are Mimbu and Banks. The reason why I wouldn't, I would love, Banks, but the reason why I wouldn't do that, because I think that's the reverse cheap route, because they're gonna get them, and I already know what the plan is. The next guy they're gonna be looking to get rid of is Terrence Steele, and those guys have experience at tackle, so they're gonna just literally kick them out the tackle. And I'm saying that doesn't help us right now. You know, we're again planning for the future and not caring about right now. And then the other guys, I'm completely out on. But as far as at the top, like I don't like Will Campbell. I don't like I'm blanking on the other linemen, but they have a lot of warts, and I only like these two because I feel like I love Booker's game because Booker embodies what I think Shotty is trying to call for us to be. Like that's his entire game. And I love Simmons because Simmons is the most pro-ready lineman overall in this draft when he's healthy. Like it's not even close.
So you mentioned that key word, right? Health when it comes to Simmons. Does that alarm you a little bit at 12 though?
It do. That's why I wouldn't. If they took him at Simmons can go as far as 12 or even a third round. Like his range is like huge,
right?
You know?
And so I'm not sure if they even came out with his full medicals. Like I feel like he could be a medicals guy. Yeah.
Right. And the only thing is he did get hurt at the beginning of the year last year. I think it was the Oregon game. And it was early in the Oregon game, which was like week 4 or 5. So he's been rehabbing. I think he would be most likely ready for camp, but it ain't perfect.
Right. All right. So DMV, because we talked about this a little bit. Was it yesterday or so? We have been live so many times I forgot what day it was. But
I know for real.
You know, we kind of talk about the physicality, that the physicality really doesn't have to come to the trenches, right? Because we're talking about, think about when we drafted Zeke, right? We got some physicality, we got some toughness, we got a tone setter. Micah Parsons, tone setter, physicality there. You know, even though CeeDee Lamb isn't a rah-rah guy, like it just had that instant impact. With Dez Bryant, he was a tone setter. There was some physicality, there was some toughness. So you can get toughness on the perimeter. So that's where I kind of slightly disagree with Lou. But I also do think that in the trenches, when you do have a tough trenches, whether it's offensive line, defensive line, it's a ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? If you have a tough defensive line, it's typically a ripple effect for your linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Then it kind of goes into your corner. So I think it's more of a culturally. So when it comes to this pick at 12 for you, DMV, like how are you? Because I know you said, bro, if we go trenches at 12, you know what I'm saying?
Tables, dog.
You'll flip a table, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I will tell you this to agree with Lou. The only guy in the medicals, if they check out, I would understand Simmons. I ain't understanding nobody else though. You know what I'm saying? I'm still be mad with Simmons. I'm gonna still be hot, but I'm not flipping the table. I just be like, well, we're gonna be throwing it 80 times, but you know they got them a good player, and I would feel a hell of a lot better. Last year I was mad about Tyler Guyton, and see the last couple of years I get mad about our first round pick, and I'm kind of notorious for being mad at our first round pick, and then normally we can kind of sometimes bat around it to where it's like, okay, I feel okay about the pick. Like that's how I felt about Tyler Guyton last year. Even though I didn't like it. Yeah, and so I don't want to do that anymore. Like I want to feel every time I felt great about our first round pick. We've been great, and that's been a great player. The last couple of times have been Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and hell, you can go back to Zeke. Every time I felt great about it, and even with Zeke, I still wanted Ramsey over Zeke, but I understood the importance and I understood the direction of where they wanted to go. Right now, I don't know that if you get an offensive lineman that it says true direction, just because of what they've done the last time they've gotten offensive linemen. We say we're gonna run, and then we don't. And so that's where. Like if we were doing it and you could guarantee me that we're actually going to stick to it, I'd be like, all right, Lou, cool. We cooking with grease. It's like, it's only a certain amount of times that I can be peed on and told me that is raining, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that, because Tyler Smith is a road grader and we drop back and pass. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So, I mean, I want to believe. I want to believe in the direction, but I won't.
And we're on the same side when it comes to that fight. I am fighting to not throw the ball. That's my whole fight.
That's a real good point. Life's crazy. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Says Team Trenches stop beer sugar out, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we kind of caused a civil war amongst the Cowboys nation, but like so many of us have said, y'all, it's like it sucks to go into this type of situation where we got so many damn holes to fill. We're all over the place now. I will say this, man. I was tweeting this out earlier because I was on this flight headed here to Green Bay. It's going through my draft notes. and I'm starting to think, shit. I'm starting to think shit. And here's the reason why, right? You know, I still feel like with all the lazy narratives that went on this draft season, I still feel like Tet will be the first wide receiver off the board if you're not counting Travis Hunter, right? So I feel like T-Mac will go first. And then I'm putting my draft hat on, and it was like, Tuck, if you were a scout, who would you probably have higher graded, right? Tyler Booker or Matthew Golden? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like, Tuck, it'll be Tyler Booker. Then, okay, Tuck, all right. So now you got Tyler Booker graded over Matthew Golden, okay? You have Tyler Booker, who was Alabama, boom, IMG Academy, right? He's only, 21 years old?
Yeah.
A Muller, so you get some youth. He's training with Duke Merriweather. You know what I'm saying? So he's here, you know what I'm saying? So you got close eyes on him. You just brought him in late for a 30 visit to double check on him. You know, it starts because here's my concern with wide receiver, y'all being fully transparent, how the Cowboys are probably thinking. One, they are going to toss Mingo into this draft class, right? I know y'all probably don't want to hear that, but count Mingo as our 4th round pick. Stephen Jones, if I had to bet y'all money, will say, well, we think about what we did with our 4th round pick in Mingo. You know, so they're going to toss him in it. So then when you're talking about the field wide receiver, your Brandon Cooks replacement, I don't know if Shotty is going to bang the desk to get Jalen Tolbert replaced. You see what I'm saying? Because he is a Jalen Tolbert fan. You know what I'm saying? I know Rome going to bang that desk. I know DMV's going to bang that desk. But I don't think that they are going to bang the desk to replace Jalen Tolbert in what, year 4? Was year 4 or year 3? Year 4?
I even got one on top of that, Tuck. I'm not so sure that he want to bring a guy in because maybe there's a guy that he wants to bring that's on the outside looking in.
Exactly. So they could, I also want to mention that chat. They could make a trade to bring in a guy as well, right? So now I start to think, okay, well, shit, if that's really off the board, would they go Hampton at 12? Even though I would love it, more than likely not. So that does leave offensive line. You get your right young guard, who's 21 years old. So you have Tyler Guyton, who's fairly young, Tyler Smith, fairly young, Cooper Beebe, fairly young, you know, Tyler Booker, fairly young, and then Terrence Steele. You have a young nucleus of your offensive line that's built for the future for the next 4 to 5 years for Dak Prescott or whosoever, and at a discounted price. Damn, Lou, you know what I'm saying? Damn, dog. So I feel like, and I was telling Henny this, who's to Henny the Morgue. I feel like if your team weapons are saving grace, is that Mac is going to have to get there to 12. I feel like if Mac is there at 12, it might be too good to pass up on. But if he goes and you're in the war room having these conversations, I can see how it can be spun to Tyler Booker possibly. Or I would still toss in Kelvin Banks because, you know, even though Lou wouldn't like it, the cheap route to get out of Steele's contract next year, kick him over to right tackle and have that flexibility. So I think that's the conversation piece from the Stephen Jones side of the table, possibly.
I think another hidden one, if we trade back, is Gray Zabel. I think that's the perfect, that's the perfect compromise. Because I think, like Boss is right, there's a fight going on in there in that war room, and like Stephen wants the weapon, and this is why I can't be Team Jones is in the weapon as far as receiver because they want to get it.
Hey, don't put us with them.
I know. But
I saw the final word last
night. Yeah.
You know, saying Stephen Jones and Jerry with team weapons and Shotty and all that stuff. Hell no.
But they want to sell jerseys, and I understand it, but I don't want to do that anymore. I am tired of throwing the ball. I know what's the obvious. I know what's the obvious fix to this team, and it's not to throw the ball, y'all. It's to slow the game down because that's going to be the obvious counter, and we've seen it already when we had the number one offense. And teams, what did the Rams do? Oh, they slowed that game down. They slowed that game down, and they said, okay, you want to throw haymakers? We're gonna get the ball. We're gonna chew the clock, and we're gonna run it down your throat because you're weak inside. And and I don't feel like we're built to do that. Right. I feel like that's the difference between us and Philly. Philly is built to throw haymakers and meant to just take those gut punches as well. And when you talk to Philly, and I just put like a whole thread on Twitter, our enemies know us better than ourselves. They said if y'all truly want to win, you better go guard. And the reason why they're saying that is because what we have right now, and I just looked at the game again. Yeah, they found Brock Hoffman and they left Jalen Carter over there the entire game. And it literally, I saw it before our eyes affect our entire play calling. We went from trying to go down the field, try to, be more vertical. We went extremely, finesse, swing passes, screen, because we couldn't block Jalen Carter. And that's what, and I know I'm talking about the best of the best, but in the NFC East, if you look to the left and right of us, that's who's we're going up against every day. I'm just keeping it being.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. Let's say that person you throwing that swing pass to is somebody that can make some people miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a way to attack it as well, to where it's like, damn, we can't leave them out on the island like that, because whoever the persons we got catching the swing pass was ran a 4.7, probably running what my son's running right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that there's different. I feel you though, and I think that a lot of people are going to struggle with the whole Jalen Carter thing, and they're saying you get a guard, but also the Philly people are also saying that because we ain't got nobody that can guard their receivers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nobody that.
Yeah, they try and pull you for the okie doke.
I think that too, but I think it's a little of both. Like they just seen their team.
They like that matchup.
Cooper Rush.
They like having Quinyon Mitchell lined up on the island versus Jalen Tober, man.
That part too, yeah.
But you know the art of war. We know when our enemy.
They got us in multiple areas.
Hold on, he said you have to though, Tuck. This is Tober's last year, and he feels that he doesn't feel like a guy who will keep around unless he turns into say it. Yeah, I agree, right? But the thing I'm saying, Sky, is I feel like Jalen Tober has a sponsor in Brian Schottenheimer. Like, they are like this. They've been like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's going to get that opportunity. And I don't think that Shotty's going to bang on the desk for Jalen Tober's replacement. I would do it, even though you guys know I like Jalen Tober. I just don't feel like he brings fear out of anybody, but not just Jalen Tober. I don't think Jalen Brooks does it. I don't think none of the wide receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb. So, me personally, I'm still considering a wide receiver weapon because of how thin this wide receiver core gets, this class gets, right? If you fall outside of Tet, Burton, Golden, and Emeka, then you're pulling hairs with Higgins, Royals, you know what I'm saying, Noel, like you know what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of falls off a cliff. So that's why I would want to get it early, because if you said I'm a draft a Nick Nash, right? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But is he going to be better than Jalen Tober? I mean, you kind of have to hope. So it's like, me personally, that's why I think the wide receiver position would be a priority unless they're going to trade. And I know a lot of people say, well, Tuck, we could trade or we could go get a Keenan Allen. But the Cowboys are playing with a negative credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't trust them to do so. You know what I'm saying? We were saying to go get Keenan Allen about 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? We had hashtags and all. So we can't trust that the Cowboys are going to do the right thing and make the proper move and go get a Keenan Allen or go, maybe make a trade for, I saw someone mention like Drake London or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to do that. So it's like, how can we trust? And I feel like that's why the Cowboys fans have been so divisive, because we feel like if you want a strong offensive lineman or right guard, you're going to have to draft it. If you want a strong wide receiver, you're going to have to draft it. If you want a strong running back, you're going to have to draft it, or just God bless us, and we'll see if Javonte Williams can turn up and become Amari and Hampton. So that's what the Cowboys are trying to avoid. Cowboys fans are trying to avoid.
And I kind of want to bring up something to go back to Tuck's point about why he thinks it could be an offensive lineman based on default, like based on the process of elimination. That's been our problem, is that we've been doing this backwards. We've been doing the process of elimination, and there's no intention there. That's why when we say we want to get the run game better, we ended up with this guard. So what do we do with him now? That's why you got a Guyton and we don't know what the hell to do with him. We didn't have a plan in place. It was process of elimination, and there was no direction behind it. And so that's where I'm like, if you get a running back, like, to me, I'm not saying get a running back at 12, guys. Again, I'm not saying that.
No,
but I'm saying you get one, you get a premium one, there's a direction behind it. Like, Lou, you and Boss, I just had this conversation with Boss on the phone. I said, Boss, what y'all should have been pushing for is a running back, because then they're going to have to plan around it. You get what I'm saying? They're going to have to plan around it. You know what I'm saying? That should have been your battle against the team weapon receiver guys. That should have been your plan, because if they get it back, they're going to have to commit to it. With receiver, they commit to throwing. With the offensive lineman, they're going to commit to throwing. You get what I'm saying? So
my only thing is I'm scared of what they did to Zeke. Like what they did to Zeke was ridiculous. They like we like the common denominator is them. We keep going back to them.
They screwed that up, and they had it perfect
because
we got Pollard. They had it perfect. They just didn't mix it up. Well,
it's like it's an extreme with them. It's like if it's passing, it's all the way passing. If it's running, it's too much running. We're preaching balance. Like we're trying, and that's it. Yeah. Like and
look, I'm not mad at y'all for wanting to be physical. I just think that y'all are going about it the wrong way when you're talking about how the Dallas Cowboys will approach you. It's not going to tie their hands to run the ball just because they got a guard in the first round. They got Tyler Guyton in the first round, who was supposed to be the left tackle of the future, and they threw the ball damn near 700 times. And that was with your quarterback missing half the season, your wide receiver having his shoulder falling off the bone. Like, they did that. So not drafting a weapon at 12 is not going to prevent them from throwing the football. They still going to air that whole out if you ain't got no running back.
Right. Because here's what I'll tell people, right? The question that I asked, and we'll find out who the real culprit was. Like, was it Mike McCarthy? I don't think it's Mike McCarthy. I honestly think it's Dak Prescott. But I do not see a situation where Jerry Jones will allow Dak Prescott to be one of the highest paid, CeeDee Lamb to be one of the highest paid, and we're turning around handing the ball off 25, 30 times for a rookie running back. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be a situation to see, is the philosophy true, right? I know Boston was showing this last night. Like, and I said, I like Shotty. He's saying all the proper buzzwords, but what did Sunshine Anderson once say? Heard it all before. I heard all this before, bro. When he first came in as an offensive coordinator, it's physical, run when we want to. Like, we've been hearing all this stuff since Mike McCarthy's been here, since Brian Schottenheimer's been here, and they've done nothing about it. As soon as they get down by 7, they go into, you know what I'm saying, to trips, and they start airing that thing out over the place and throwing the ball 40+ times. So it's going to have to be more of a mentality than I think personnel. Look to grow for the $5 super chat, bro. That is going to Jacksonville. The next wide receiver on the board would be Golden, but how many players at other positions do they have back between Tech and Golden? And that's going to be the interesting thing. Like, I think, like, if you're looking at it from maybe some scouting perspective, grade perspective, there should be a ton, if they're doing it properly, there should be a ton of players between the two.
Yeah, and I think we two different. Hey, we're all on the same, though.
From one of our content brothers, they got Golden over Ted.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard that. I don't know if they should be looking at it that way. I don't believe it to be the case, right? Personally, from me looking at them, I think Ted is wide receiver 1 this year, but they also do crazy things, man. So it really depends on
for the sake of being crazy too, bro. They do it for the sake of being crazy, just to be different. Like, bro, like,
that's that self-righteous.
Want to be different for the reason if everyone got Mac as number 1, you know what? We gonna, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do Richard Jones.
And when Golden called him Coach Jones, he went number 1 on their board. That's why they got their board set, because Jerry went there and changed it.
I'd like to call him Coach Jones.
But they could have solved this war a long time ago. Like, the reason why we're still fighting is because
we got Paris Campbell versus Sadiqa Charles.
Oh my God! No, keep naming them names.
Sadiqa Charles.
Keep naming them names. They could have got a cheap guard. A cheap guard would have been Hernandez, I would think, or get a Tevin Jenkins. But dog, I didn't think you can get cheaper than that, and they did. They got somebody who quit football a year ago,
right?
And they said, Schottenheimer, you wanna be physical? Here you go. That was the biggest slap in the face I ever seen in my life. And they honestly, I think they pissed off Shotty even more, and that's why you can tell that he's pushing guard even more. It's like, bro, you think, and that's what I tell everybody. Y'all really think just because we got 15 players and or bodies that I care about, we just not go guard? No. This is not quality. That's quantity. We're not. What y'all should be like, if y'all want the weapon, y'all should be pushing for the Joneses to go get a better offensive lineman to compete with Hoffman. I already got questions about Hoffman. All the offensive line people got questions about Hoffman. A uncompetitive Hoffman, I definitely don't want that. Somebody
Same with Mozzie. Same with
Mozzie. Like,
Right.
I don't want. If we ain't driving no
The same with
competition,
Tolbert, though.
Yeah,
Exactly.
same with Tolbert. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
Jalen Brooks,
Spicy is
Tolbert,
looking at Clayton Adams,
Jonathan
track record
Mingo.
with teams he coaches success.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah. So I mean, I like Clayton Adams and what he did, in the Cardinals, and he's also a tight end offensive line guy. So as I said, the coach, I think the culture is going to have to change. My question I would ask you, Lou, if the Cowboys pride themselves on being a draft and develop, when are we going to develop some of these offensive linemen? You see what I'm saying?
No,
or are you saying that even they develop a Brock Hoffman, it's not going to be there?
See, the thing is, like, I think we got to be careful with these offensive line coaches. Even Stoutland, I think Stoutland is the best draft and develop, lineman thing. These guys are not Jesus Christ. They cannot turn water into wine.
I think that's the mentality they're going into.
But here's my thing, Lou. You can't turn water into wine, but when you got the wine, like, how do you continue to keep it to where you keep the wine flowing? Like, you look at Philadelphia, and we thought that they were going to be I thought when Kelsey left that they were going to be in trouble at center. And then Cam Jurgens was the guy that they were developing to be the replacement throughout. And there was a plan there. See, in Philadelphia, there's a plan. Like, it just seemed like we just throwing players without plans, and then we trying to figure it out as we get them. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, we need a development strategy based on what it is that we actually want to do, not figure it out.
And
I'll say this: like, all your young, promising offensive linemen, you let leave the building, and that's what I was going to say.
That's what I was going to say.
You let them leave. Connor McGovern, I know people don't think about it. Connor McGovern was a third-round pick. He was a top 100 prospect that you drafted. He was a Pro Bowler last year. I know Pro Bowl don't mean a lot in this day and age, but he still got the accolade. When you talk about Tyler Biadasz, he graded out better than Hoffman and our boy BB. We were just talking about a developmental player who was a fourth-round pick. But
he was a Pro Bowler too, right?
He was a replacement.
Pro Bowler. But I heard when it came to Tyler Biadasz, they just offered him a dirtbag deal. You know what I'm saying? They just threw him some crumbs on the floor and said, take it or leave it, right? So it's like, we pride ourselves on being drafted and developed when it comes to our offensive line. Like, coach, some of these Austin Richards, like, look how much resources we have spent in the offensive line and gotten zero in return, from the Matt Walesko to the Josh Ball.
Connor Williams, we let him out the building too.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It ties back into the main problem being at the top, because we got clogged in the position. We should have they drafted those guys to replace or come in, but we kept on Tyron Smith all those years. We kept the center. We let it get clogged, and instead of us pushing up, it drained out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best way I can say it. Like, but now you say, like, we did draft and develop. They just didn't let the guys come in and take over. But now, what I get heated about, don't start pushing these other names. Don't put, like, Asim Richards. Yeah, Mike Solari was a bad coach. Yes, I wanted him fired at the bye week. You feel me? I wanted him gone. But Mike Solari, we cannot, we can't deny this. They were under pressure the entire year, and they went with the lineup that they trusted. That's keep that in mind.
And that wasn't Tyler Guyton.
It wasn't Tyler Guyton. You know what I'm saying? And Asim Richards, we don't know what he plays. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I see him at tackle, I see him at guard. We still don't know what he plays, and maybe he's a jack of all trades, but a jack of all trades is a master of none. So, like, we got all these guys we can mix and match. I know you said Nate Thomas. Y'all keep mentioning Nate Thomas. Can I see this man run a 110? Can I see him do a gas or something? Can I see him play in preseason? Before we just start naming names. Like I said, just because the guy is 330 pounds don't mean the MF can block. That's not how O-line works. That's the difference between a University of Texas and a UTSA. The difference is the trenches. Like, let's just keep it a bean. So when y'all name these names, I want, like, solidified names. TJ Bass, he's the backup left guard position. Is he starting caliber? I don't believe so, because I saw it in the Steelers game. He got in there. He was doing good until he got tired, and then Cameron Hayward started whooping him. Brock Hoffman, I don't believe he's a starting caliber guard. I don't trust him for 17 games because of what I just watched it back. What the Eagles did to him is my greatest fear. He's going to become a tendency, and guys, when you become a tendency team and you're at the top of the scouting report, they're going to keep the best player on you and make them play their game. And that's like you in Kansas City, J Tuck.
Right.
Kansas City lost 2 Super Bowls the exact same way because of what?
Right, the offensive line.
And when you don't get that together, you are at the mercy of the defense. I am not trying to be at the mercy of the defense. We were at the mercy of Philadelphia. I know we need better guys on them swing passes, but when you call in 16 screen passes, damn it, we see it coming. Like that's.
But you know what though? We can't leave out the fact that they won 3 of them, and they still trying to get weapons for their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like we can't leave out that part just because they lost to Philly this time. They also beat Philly.
Yeah.
No, but that's when they corrected their issue with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about that. What they went Kingsley Samadia last year in the second round, and they benched him immediately. You know,
they tried.
Yeah, and so, but they just moved on. They cut the top. I mean, even they're talking about offensive line and draft, right now. So there's like, and that's the thing about Andy Reid and the Chiefs. When you don't show up and they done with you, they are done with you. They'll mark you out. You know what I'm saying? Like good, right? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the Cowboys, they're going to try to keep pushing Tyler Guyton. Salute to another $5 super chat from Lights Crazy. Appreciate you, dog. I think the Joneses give you a try before taking over, just like Mike here 2 years ago. I think Brian will have his chance to get a wide receiver you play behind. So we'll see. Normally they'll let him cook. My guy Scott said they signed Zeke and James Washington to get running back and wide receiver for like 5 years.
Facts, bro.
Like they don't care.
I was laughing at that. Scott, you funny.
They just. I mean, because even last year, y'all, like it was negligence last year. Like you could have went and got a Braylon Allen or used one of those fourth round pick back and went and got a Bucky or like they didn't even care. Not in the 6th round, not in the 7th round, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. You got to go get this offense weapons because even if you have the trenches, right, if you go get a Tyler Booker, if there's no one to respect on the perimeter and there's no one to respect in the running game, they still going to go out there with those light boxes and dropping those shallow zones and shade towards CeeDee Lamb and force someone to beat us. If you have other weapons opposite of CeeDee Lamb, it's going to make life easier on him, Jake Ferguson, but most importantly, Dak Prescott, and even your offensive line as well, because you could get the quick game moving if you had a Luther Burden, right? Those screen passes to Luther Burden, right? Now that's someone who can hit their head on the goalpost with the simple cut, right? So I feel like you just got to get something because what's going to happen, y'all, if we go offensive line and trenches and we have another draft like we had the last 2 years, we can no longer sit back on our hands and be comfortable because the command is where the command is, right? If they are 2 to 3 moves away from really being on a whole different level, if they mess around and get Amari Hampton or some shit, it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying not to think about it, bro, but it's going to happen.
So we can't just sit back and be comfortable and draft some guys that can develop. Like, no, we have to move the needle because these other teams I guarantee you, Howie is already plotting. They're probably going to move up and maybe get a Walter Nolan and spin back around and maybe
trade AJ Brown or get somebody else.
They got so many picks just lumped up. They're going to be aggressive. So we cannot sit back and be conservative and get these developmental guys. And I just feel like if we're going to move the needle in the right direction, we gotta improve our skills. We got to improve our skills because it's just not there. You know what I'm saying? Go play with the Cowboys on Madden right now. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just try that. You can't even get that done, right? We're out there with Javonte Williams. You don't got to turn water into wine. You just got to get higher alcohol level from the wine you already got. Hey, fire ass bar, Scott. BB, Guyton, Steele, Thomas, the water out there for free agents, old Band-Aids as well. And I feel like that's the problem, right? Just like you were kind of saying, Lou, what the Cowboys have done with the offensive line, they've been throwing shit at the wall, and hopefully one of them do. I'm surprised Lou's phone ain't rang, and it's be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You in Dallas, hey, pull up, you know what I'm saying? Just hoping someone sticks. I can't even name all these guys we didn't brought in. It's a bunch of camp bodies, right? So I feel like once things kind of sort out, you're going to be looking at this roster, and not only that, when we get hit with the injury bug, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can see it, y'all, but I think once again, this is a bad predicament to be in when you have all these holes. Because even if you go get you know, an offensive guard, either early, right, or Booker or whoever, right? It's still not enough. It's still not enough to move the needle. Like, okay, you filled that hole, but you still got some massive ones on the perimeter and also in your backfield. So, see a lot of people. See, O says, "Salute to O, man. O, the savior of the draft season for his spreadsheet, man. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, dog. I did not feel like typing all that. Dallas went wide receiver in rounds 1, 2, 6, or 1 and 2, 6 times, and in 6 years span in the 90s, and then went wide receiver 1, 2, first and second round, I think 3 times in the last 25 years. Crazy. And hit on both of those, though. And hit on both. So the Cowboys don't miss on wide receiver in the first round. Can we start playing that game? Because offensive line, they do that with the offensive line. Say, Cowboys don't miss.
I was going to say, Antonio Bryant was the other one, right? Of the 3. Mm-hmm. I think they hit on him, too. He just so happened to throw the practice jersey at Bill Parcells, and his ass was gone.
Yeah.
They hit on him, too. That's the 88 nobody talk about.
Yeah, it's just guys you can't pay one. That doesn't justify having Brock, Jay, Hoff-Bass starting at right guard next year. I mean, here's my thing. I'm gonna say, honestly, with the right guard, I would kick Cooper Beebe's ass back to right guard just like that. That's my fix. I would put Cooper Beebe at right guard and go find me a solid center, because I think people mention like Will.
That should have been what we did last year, in my opinion. We should have drafted center
last year. But once again, we had those holes, right? So I
there was some good centers last year too.
You could go find you a quality center.
They should have kicked him for one game.
Huh?
I said they should have kicked them for one game and let us see it.
Let us see. Mm-hmm. But after talking to Cooper Beebe's dad, I think he was saying that the Cooper Beebe at center thing, that was a Mike McCarthy thing. But Coach Riley said in the interview, yeah, he's gonna consider it. So I mean, that could be something there, because I think that Cooper Beebe's strongest suit would be at guard to see it.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. The only thing is, like, I can't get what Vach said out of me, because we have a rare opportunity. Centers are not strong. Like, typically, they're not strong individuals. Like, you can hide them. They're guys you can move out in space. I think we have a rare opportunity to be something that a lot of teams don't do. And I know it'll be at a detriment to create a hole, but I think that keeping Beebe at center, we have a rare opportunity to have a strong, like, have a left guard that's strong, a right guard, and a center. That's very rare.
But see, even if you do that, Lou, the most important piece to me, if we're going to draft offensive line, needs to be that tackle.
I know, but the only guy I would consider that's I would say is definitively better is Simmons, and we have injury concerns.
I like Will Campbell. I think Will Campbell, but I think Will Campbell might be a guard prospect at the NFL level. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, but a lot of people are talking about his arm length and him playing guard. And I'm not trying to do that again where I'm drafting another tackle to play guard. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't want to do that either. Yeah.
Because even with Tyler Smith, everybody will talk about the victory of that happening, but he had to play tackle for a year. So it didn't just happen right out the gate. Right. We don't know what it would have been like, even though he seems to be a very good player. That I just don't want to do another project, bro.
Right. It's a lot of moving around, and he never played, but we, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they overthink some things. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, good point. If you can't build an offensive line without 5 premium picks, your entire scouting department and front office should be fired.
I'm with that, bro.
Bro. You shouldn't need first round across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, you should be able to develop a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder. You know, you pride yourself on doing it on the 5th round, the Ron Bland. But you can't do it with the offensive line. You airball, so you get a little antsy. You airball with Matt Waletzko.
Lyle was supposed to be a 1st round talent, though, wasn't he? And then he something happened, and then he became an undrafted.
Who?
Lyle?
Yeah. Lyle had a situation. That, you know what I'm saying? That's
so. I mean, we ain't never did with 5. I think 3 is the magic number. That's what we're going for again. 3.
We got 3 premiums. You got a 1st round pick in Guyton, 1st round pick in Smith. You got a 3rd round pick in Beebe.
1st round talent, but you know,
undrafted. I mean, because Cooper Beebe really was a 2nd round talent. Undrafted in Terrence Steele, and then Lou at right guard. Shit, let's roll. I
don't want 5, 3.
Hey, man.
3 is Holy Trinity.
This is why we should have just hired Coach Prime, because Coach Prime don't need no trenches, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that was his problem. Yeah, he said it the first year, and what happened?
Yeah, Coach Pride don't need no offensive line or defensive tackles. We go with all skill positions. You can still win games, man. Yeah, Angry said Luke Kandra in the 5th out of Cincinnati. I like Luke Kandra as well. It's all the quality guys. No team in the NFL has spent more than 1 and 3 picks than the Cowboys since 2015. We try your way. Let's do it my way. Yeah, let's do it the old way, man. Team weapons, man. Hashtag team weapons in the chat, man. They're trying to get us down on draft E.
Yeah, that's my thing, bro. We done it that way, and we ain't had no direction, bro. Like, you gotta have direction in what you're doing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what you want me to do? I'm sorry.
Right. And how many times are you going to continue to do the same thing? And like I said, it's not just, I don't think it's a thing, physicality and toughness comes from the player. Now, there are some players that have that mentality naturally, but it's an organizational thing. It's a cultural thing. It's a coaching thing. So coach some toughness into Austin Richards. Coach some physicality in Austin Richards. Like, teach him how to finish his blocks. You know what I'm saying? Play through the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Toss them out in camp and put them in the damn dog pound or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta.
That's it. In camp, actually practice. You know what I'm saying? Practice. Have people practice and actually.
You know what I'm saying? But see, Mike McCarthy was a guy. When you have someone like Ridgeway throw a punch in practice, you get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, let them be some dogs out there. You know. And so, me personally, I say I would, if they would call Tyler Booker at 12. I would be bummed out a little bit, but I would understand it.
What about trade back? How about trade back? Because I think trade back. That's what I heard. I heard that they're, I ain't got sources, but some guys told me they're looking that Booker's their guy, but not at 12.
Right.
And that I know it's a dream, but there's a trade in the midst, like an outside player. That's what I heard, and I think they're trying to target Booker in the 20s.
I would be okay. It depends on what we get back, right? Because even last year, at day one, I wasn't feeling Tyler Guyton until the trade back and they parlayed that with Cooper Beebe. And I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? The Cooper Beebe erased the whole Tyler Guyton thing. I didn't forgot we drafted Tyler Guyton. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, cool. So if they're able to parlay that with something, like they parlay it with the wide receiver. So let's say, for instance, they traded back, got Booker, and maybe they went with, like, I don't know, let's talk about Higgins or something like that.
Like, we can, if we can get,
he got an extra third and went and got,
if we can get Pickens, you know what I'm saying? Pickens? If we get, because I think Pittsburgh is really trying to trade
damn well, George Pickens with a first-time head coach and Brian Schottenheimer, but hell no, that ain't working.
He called himself a people guy.
Nah,
so let's put it to test.
It's all fun and games right now. Ain't nobody, under live action. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shoots a fan man for the $10 super chat. The same reason Malik Neighbors was better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Damn. While also playing with a lesser quarterback is the same reason Golden is wide receiver number 1's class: speed, route running, and separation. I mean, Ted ain't played with no quarterback either. I mean, a lot of these guys ain't played with no quarterback.
I don't think we talk about the same thing. Like, I like Golden, but he's not as physically imposing as Malik Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you can really compare.
Yeah. He put this whole draft class in last year's class. They all
behind Brian Thomas.
Yeah, they all behind Brian Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, that's who I wanted last year. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's who I wanted last year.
I wanted him too, bro.
Yeah, and he went the pick before, and I was. But y'all go see, I was heated at Jacksonville. I'm like, why did y'all take him? Y'all got other needs, and they picked Brian Thomas.
And then you hear stuff like Jacksonville won Tech. Like, why, bro?
Why? Like
damn, quarterback still getting his dick knocked.
They got Thomas. They also got what's the other dude? They got Gamble.
I think he's gone now, right? Oh wait. You're talking about the former Falcons receiver, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah. So if they need Mac for, bro. But see, you know what I'm saying? They trying to load up.
I'm about to say, not everybody build like us, bro. Not everybody.
They building it wrong. Their problem is up front.
But hear me out though. They didn't been to an AFC championship, and
right?
We haven't been. So they gonna probably mess around and lap us again.
Philly had a legit offensive line and traded a first-round pick for AJ Brown and drafted a first-round wide receiver. Diminishing Stoutland is interesting below. Sutland probably. The real trench conversations on the other side of the defensive line. And see, that's a whole nother can of worms
But y'all forgetting that Philly drafted a receiver before they traded for
yes,
AJ
they
Brown,
had
Jalen
They had
Reagor,
Rager and they had
and he
yeah,
failed.
drafted Smitty.
They completely botched that draft because the very next pick was Justin Jefferson. So
Right.
they had to fix that error. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm not
they
mentioning
clean it up, right? But see,
Mhm.
but even though after drafting Smitty, right after 1 year, they realized Smitty's he's good, but he's not a wide receiver one. He's a two. You know what I'm saying? And they went and just fixed it and gave him a 1 and just opened things up because they also had Dallas Goedert still. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
Mhm.
It's just, I mean, it's bad because I know some people don't like to do it, but when you compare what we do and how we handle stuff compared to Philly, we should mention some other teams. Maybe we should
Yeah, I'm gonna say because they've had so many picks, and then the picks are starting to hit because at one point they weren't hitting, and then they got some plays up under their belt, and now all of a sudden they're maturing.
Right.
Fangio came and validated a lot of potential busts.
Coaching, baby, coaching.
Right. Look what we did with Zach Bond. Like, look at Milton Williams, who got, you know what I'm saying, and got paid. So it's like
the linebacker or Dean. I thought he was a bust too. Like,
yeah, Jacoby Dean. Yeah. So why can't we just get Tate Ratledge in the second? Not in the second, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a little too rich for me.
That's why I only got a few O-line in this entire draft. People are like, oh, let's go Jackson. Well, in the second round, I like other positions more than O-line. Then I'm gonna be honest, like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, cause I like some of these linebackers. I really like some of these safeties, bro. I really like
Kuba.
Yeah, exactly. They mess.
Watts. I mean, Nick Manowari, but that's.
I like Schlesinger.
Yeah, Broader said third for Detroit for Williams. If that happens, how would you go about that?
Hey, you talk about electricity, bro.
Yeah, I would love.
You talk about electricity, bro.
Detroit would probably slam the phone in our face, but you know what I'm saying. I would love that, and that's what we need. You know what I'm saying. But then you heard Shawty yesterday poo-pooing on speed, and I'm thinking about.
He would take that, run off the safety, run off that safety, baby. Yeah,
he didn't want to talk about speed because he protected Jalen Tolbert, dog. He's like, well, speed's not that important. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you get J-Mo. That's up. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. When you go through just the NFL, you have St. Brown and J-Mo. You have, Brown and Smitty. You have Chase and Higgins. You have Addison and Jefferson. All the list goes on and on. Now you got Scary Terry and Debo. In the Dallas, you get to CeeDee Lamb and them. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. Can we get back? Like, y'all remember how good it felt when we had that 3-headed monster of CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, and Michael Gallup? We only got to see it for like 2 to 3 games. You see what I'm saying? We didn't get to really see it.
CeeDee Lamb gonna show up to camp one day and be like, "You ungrateful sons of bitches."
in big games said this last night, right? If he's drafted, we got a lot of comments, y'all. My bad if I'm missing.
Yeah.
It's my dog Rome in the building, man. See, Rome, dog. Rome, bro. Hey, man. Hey, you have to put some respect on Jalen Tolbert's name, bro. Y'all love him versus Pittsburgh, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Lando. I thought I saw a super chat for Lando.
I think he did get one.
Yeah, salute to Lando, man. Appreciate you, dog. Definitely follow my guy Lando, doing phenomenal work, especially in the writing game as well.
Facts.
And then salute to Lee, man. Another super chat, $10 super chat. Appreciate you. So team weapons don't want high picks on offensive line, but they want CeeDee Lamb round 1, new pick round 1, Mingo round 2, and Tolbert round 3, and they all gonna be on the field at the same time. Offensive line. Hey, bro, that Mingo, we didn't ask for that. We did not ask for that.
That's how I knew that they. That's how I know that they know that weapons is a problem. And then, go ahead. My bad.
I asked for Jalen Tolbert, but my whole intent with Jalen Tolbert was not to be the Mari Cooper replacement. I was thinking just a good rotational, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. I think people like, oh, you wanted Jalen Tolbert, bro, not to be wide receiver 1 or 2 in place of Mari Cooper. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was saying he was a good, dominant, or rough guy that we could add to the roster that could, stretch the field. But we didn't ask for Mingo. So you can take Mingo out, you can take Tolbert out, and just give me CeeDee Lamb and a new first-round pick and put those 2 on the field, and we'll do 2 wide receiver sets. We can run doubles or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I need. So But yeah, I see what your point is, but I just feel like we just need threats on the perimeter. I feel like we just really need threats on the perimeter. Yeah.
Give me my Alvin Harper.
Coaching matters.
Coach Hart.
Front office matters. That's what we keep overlooking, right? We put a lot of ownership on these players, but come on, coaching staff. Come on, coaching staff. You know, we if there's anything that a lot of us have been in unison speaking highly about was the coaching hires that Brian Schottenheimer's brought in. So, all right, bro, Coach Riley, Tyler Guyton, let's see him work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brock Hoffman, let's see it work. Ashton Richards, Sadiq Charles, you know what I'm saying? Not Sadiq and Charles, Sadiq Charles. Let's see what you got. You know, let's see what you got, right? And then also with Coach Adams, you know, Clayton Adams, hey, we heard about your scheme and your toughness and physicality and what you've done with Connor and those guys and how you turned my dog Trey Benson to one or not Trey Benson, Trey McBride to one of the top tight ends in football. Let's see what you got. So, like, it's going to be up to some of these guys have to go out there and coach these players up. I think my dog Henny has jumped back in. Let's see here.
I'm here.
All right, dog. What's going on with you, big dog? All right, you back?
Yeah, I'm back right now, man. You know, up here moving and shaking. But I do got some stuff I want to add real quick before I get lost again. So I just have to point out, man, and Lou, I'm not trying to shit on offensive line, because you can really use what I'm saying about any position. But if you allocate all of your resources into one area, you cannot then turn around and cry when everybody else is sorry. You just can't do it. The Dallas Cowboys have spent a lot of capital on their first round picks on the offensive line. What you have not done is spend capital for skill position players. You ain't spent no first round picks on no corners. You ain't spent no first round picks on no defensive tackles. Myles Smith was the first defensive tackle you drafted in 25 years in the first round.
Right. In
25 years. And you wonder why you can't stop the run. You have no assets tied up to the defensive side of your ball, really, outside of Micah. And you got lucky with Micah because they said they didn't know he could pass rush when they drafted him.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean,
think about what the Dallas Cowboys have and how they always lose. The Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs since 2016 is averaging 30 points in a loss and 157 rushing yards. If a team can drop 30 and run for 157, you know they're going to win. Yeah. And the issue is, and really it's part of a bigger issue, because we know they don't spend in free agency. They're at the bottom damn near every year in free agent spending. But you cannot also use the only assets you have, if that's the case, on one position. It just won't work. Even if it was the opposite. Let's say we spent all our first-round picks on wide receivers. Let's say we actually were making team weapon happen. Offensive line would be trash. You have no first-round picks there. Defensive line would still be trash. Secondary still would be trash. Hell, you ain't used. Matter of fact, everybody in the safety room, man. I'm sorry. I know if you're a safety, good. You grew up in Texas. You'll never play for the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't spent a first-round pick on a safety since Roy Williams. They would rather draft the corner and move his ass to safety before they draft the safety in the first round. Is that what they did with Byron Jones?
Yep.
So Henry, so I mean, when do we wave the white flag and just say that's just their mentality, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I know a lot of people were tagging me like, oh, Tuck, like, what about Isaiah Thomas? I just waved the white flag, bro. I didn't do no film on my dog, AT. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just knew they don't draft out of Florida State. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Henny, bro, like, and what scares me about this is, like, unless there's a wide receiver that I can see that Jerry just really, 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 really loves, I can see him being swayed out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, in order for it to be Mac or Golden, it has to be one of those, they have to yank the card out of Jerry's hands. And I just don't think that Jerry has that with any of these wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Now we hope he does. You know what I'm saying? I hope he does, but I just, you know, I don't know. Let me get to the super chats real quick, man. My guy Lingo, appreciate the $5 super chat. Do people realize how ass T-Mac's quarterback was compared to Quinn anyway? What's y'all perfect draft scenario round 1 to 3? Yeah. he didn't have no quarterback in Noah at Arizona. Because think about it, people say, "Oh, well, Golden had a bad quarterback." Well, he had Arch Manning and Quinn. You know what I'm saying? So he had two quarterbacks that was decent at the college level, and he also played with a lot of talent in Texas. And then I'm gonna get to one from Dro real quick. Posted to follow our super chat. When Tech goes before 12, who's the next wide receiver on the board? How many players are in position to be ready? Oh, we already go there. Super chat. Yeah. I think Lou was saying that they might have Golden rated higher than Mac. Now that's going to be a whole conversation in itself, but we'll see. But let me get back to that question. Lou, let me keep this over to you. So what's your perfect draft scenario rounds 1 to 3?
All right, I'm gonna include trades. My perfect scenario is that they find a trade partner that somebody can give us a receiver. We trade back into the 20s. You take Tyler Booker round 1, round 2. Since you have your receiver now, I think you gain a second from the trade, and you now you have 2 seconds, and you traded one for Pickens. That's my saying. So round 2, I will want to go Tyreek Williams, the D tackle from Ohio State, and then round 3, I would get either Devin Neal or RJ Harvey.
So Lou wants to get Brian Schottenheimer fired in year 1 with George Pickens. You know what I'm saying? Because if Mike Tomlin can't control Pickens, I can imagine what the hell Brian Schottenheimer going to be able to do. But my perfect scenario would be one. It would just be if Ginty would just slide at 12. That probably just made life easier on all of us.
Yeah.
Ideally, if Mac is not there, I would also team trade back. So I think we've been fighting for team weapons and team trenches. I think a lot of us is team trade back, right?
A lot.
Team trade back, get some value. Me personally, I would probably go Luther Bird on the trade back. So it's around 2021. See if you can grab Luther Bird. And there's your wide receiver. That's your Phil Rivers wide receiver right there. Second round, turn around if either Henderson is there, but I purposely would go with Quinshon and Judkins. That would probably get your physicality, your toughness in between the tackles, your power running, your red zone guy, fix those issues there. And in the third round, I'll be looking for the trenches defensively, whether that's, I don't think Harmon would be there, but you're probably looking like maybe an Alexander or maybe an Alfred Collins or something like that in the defensive trenches in the interior. So that'll probably be my perfect situation right there as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I heard Burfield sliding because of injuries.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think I'm a parrot tuck a little bit. I trade back. My guy is Emeka Ibuka. Like that's the guy that I like a lot. So I would trade back, target Emeka Ibuka. Second round, because I'm trying to trade back to at least get another top 100 pick. So if I'm able to get like another second round pick for mine, then I'm a double up. I'll get Quinshon Judkins, and I would help team trenches. I would get Tate Ratledge if I got a second round pick. Because dude, listen, he's a superb athlete at the guard spot. I know he's not a perfect technician, but he is an All-American, All-SEC, 2-time champion, and he's a freak athlete. So I would take that. That would be perfect competition for Brock Hoffman. Then third round, let's see. I already got my running back. I got my running back, my guard. I got my wide receiver. Third round, who? Alfred Collins. I'll probably go Alfred Collins.
Yeah, big Alfred Collins. Yeah, big Alfred Collins. So let me ask you about this when it comes to offensive line. So what is your thoughts on the second kind of core, right? That's like the Jonah Savonea, right? The Marcus Ambos, Wyatt Williams. What's your thoughts on some of those kind of guys? Maybe plugging the offensive guard. So maybe not in the first round, but maybe second or third.
Yeah, I don't think those guys are immediately better than Brock Hoffman.
Gotcha.
The only guy I would think about that I say I would prefer him over Brock Hoffman is Jonah Savonea, the tackle from Arizona. Move him to guard. Only thing is he got slow feet, but he's strong as all get out. Still got to play low, have a good leverage because he's a former tackle and he's like 6'. So a lot of these 6'6" guys, they play entirely too high and coming into the next level. So if he can fix that before camp, yay. But if not, I don't know if he can do better than Brock Hoffman.
Yeah, because I really like Jonah. I studied him heavily because he was playing next to Jordan Morgan last year, who I loved out of Arizona. So I think he's probably a guy that can probably fill the void. But I think there is some value I would say round 3. I really hate we don't have a 4th round pick. So if I'm a trade back, I didn't get a 4th round pick because even with the running back team, I was going through my board. There's going to be a lot of opportunity in that 4th round that we're kind of missing out there. So, but you can probably say like, yeah, Luke Kandra would probably be one. He'd probably be a day 3 guy. Emory Jones out of LSU. So some of those guys. And if I kick this back over to you, bro, because I know running back's kind of your lane. I feel like they're going to give Javonte Williams a go, right? I feel like this won't be a Royce Freeman situation. They just bring in a guy and he doesn't make it through camp. So I feel like Javonte Williams is a go. We'll see what happens with Miles Sanders. But are you looking for a running back I think we already talked about this, but are you looking for a running back to counter what Javonte does? Or I think you're talking about just a stable of back. So just talent over talent. Because I think a lot of people have mentioned Dylan Sampson to me. I like Dylan Sampson. He can be your lightning, you know what I'm saying, if you already have some thunder. But yeah, how would you go about it? So if you're looking to take a running back, let's say 2nd or 3rd round.
I want a player. I want a running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to match them up with his strength is this, so his strength is this, and because I think that makes us weaker. And quite frankly, I don't think we're really good at that. I think I would just get guys that, like, hell, if I get a guy that's a lot like, I think you said it before, and I know we wouldn't probably draft, but you're like, they wouldn't get a Hampton because they have Javonte. And like, why the hell not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
2 of them, you know what I'm saying? Or
right.
Like, quite frankly, I'm just looking for somebody that can catch the ball, that can run the ball, that can pass block. I saw the comment that said that they liked Sampson over Harvey. I don't think that I do. Personally,
I mean, yeah, man, it's hard for me. I get the Sampson appeal because the electricity, he's an electric runner, right? But the thing that concerns me about Harvey, I wish I had those scouts who told me he wasn't good drafted because I'll fire on that. I better not run into them. Oh yeah, I remember you from the combine. Yeah, bro, I've been looking for you. But I would say, like, I think that people do have the reserves about Harvey because of the ACL injury, right? And then also when he's like 24, 25. So, I mean, I get that. But when you're talking about just player for player, it's hard for me to put Sampson over Harvey. Like it really is because I've seen this kid up close and personal. I saw what he's done in the Big 12
too.
It's a bell cow, right? And the same thing I would say for Devin Neal. I mean, Devin, you saw, I talked to Devin Neal this morning before I headed out, man. And just like Devin Neal's being slighted because they're concerned about his long speed, right? But who really cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, not every running back has immediate long speed, and they're worried about him being able to run between tackles. But you're talking about someone who's a leading rusher for Kansas since the moment he came in as a freshman. Extremely athletic, patient, vision. It's all there. So I just feel like the teams are going to get stupid at running back. There's going to be a lot of stupidity here.
It is.
And it's going to be some shit where we're sitting back saying, oh, damn, he went before who? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be somewhere like, I know Professor O is extremely high on him. And even though he has the fumbling issue with Basil Tootin, right?
Yeah, I knew it.
A situation where someone looks at that speed and says,
yeah, I heard the Cowboys are high on Tootin.
Yeah, so it could be one of those where he goes before like the Sampsons or the Jordan Jameses or something like that, and then it pushes something back. So he's 24, but I only need my running backs for 4 to 5 years anyway before I'm looking for his replacement. Yeah,
that's my whole thing. I only need 4 to 5 years, bro.
Right.
And in 2 years, I'm looking to get another one.
Right. I mean, I hate to say it.
Running backs here for a good time, not a long time, man.
Right. Use them and lose them. You know what I'm saying?
I have to say something right now because you asked me a question about running back. And James Slater put out that the Cowboys are looking for Tootin possibly at the late 2nd round.
What?
If you got Tootin as whoever got Tootin as a round 2 grade, you need to be fired, bro.
What?
Yeah,
I got Tootin with like a 4th or a 5th.
Yeah,
a 5th.
I got a 4th on him.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I know you high. I know you're high on Tootin. How high you have him? Because I don't see him any higher than 4.
I got him a 4.
Yeah,
I got him a 5.
Yeah.
4 fields. And
I got a 5th.
Yeah, he's late.
He's
He's late 4, so I put him at the 5th on the board, right?
He's a package.
But I got him a 4.
He's a package back. I don't like people. Like, come on, like package backs and these actual like potential workhorses. You gotta knock these package backs, man. Like there's some guys I have in the 5th that I would take over too because I trust them. Like, give me a LaQuint Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like from Syracuse, right?
Syracuse, right?
Yeah, like give me like you said, a Jordan James. Give me a Damian Martinez. Like any day of the week. I just value that. Just because speed is a great thing to have, but dog, if you can't see it, if you can't feel it out, none of that even matters. There's been running backs that ran 4.2, get to the league, don't even see the speed at all.
Right. Yeah, because I have like a 4, late 4, 5, early 5 on 2. So it's probably what his range. Osa's got most scouts have like 3 or 4 on him, and I think, like I said, their traction for him was that 40 speed.
Like, how is he better than Brashard Smith out of SMU?
The only thing that people knock Brashard Smith for, he only got 1 year playing running back.
Right.
That's the only thing he's knocking for. But as a prospect, I think I like Brashard Smith a little bit.
And it's also people kind of knocking about his size. But see, another tricky prospect. That I see it, but I don't. Is DJ Giddens, right? I feel like DJ Giddens, like, it's there, but it's not there, right? I went through the film multiple times at Kansas State. Like, he's shifty as hell. But I feel like for that type of player, I wanted more burst. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't. It was the sideline to sideline, right? Agile, shifty, right? But it's like he just didn't explode or jump off the film for me personally. So
his game don't match his body type.
Yeah, it didn't match, right? It looks like it should be there, but it just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
He running entirely too high for me. I feel like somebody gonna hit him one good time in the chest, and we're gonna see blow his chest up. He run all the way up here, and he's shifting people like straight up. I'm like, God, get your shoulders, but get behind your pads, sir.
Jackson this year's class run high too. I mean, because Orion Hampton runs kind of high, Devin Hill runs kind of high. Like, so I wonder, is that a coaching thing? I don't know, because like a lot of them do run high.
But he's like a lanky build. At least Omarion Hampton got something behind his pads. At least Devin Neal got some, you know what I'm saying, got tree trunks for legs. He's just like pure slender build. He built like them running backs. Remember from NFL Street? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole game back. He remind me of that. You know,
he built like a point guard, dog.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody watching right now. We got 688 watching right now. So make sure you go to all the channels, comment, like, and subscribe. Share the content. Everybody know that we are doing some draft coverage. Just having some fun. I am live here in Green Bay, chilling at the hotel. They're having a bunch of stuff going on. I guess they're having a Budweiser party tonight, and also the lady at the hotel giving me like 5 drink tickets. You trying to get me lit up?
Probably ain't nothing out there but cheese and liquor, bro.
It ain't nothing out here. It's just bars, bro. Bars on every corner, bro. Like, it's like bars. You know what I'm saying? So, so you know what I'm saying. I asked like, where can I find me a steak? And they told me to go to this restaurant up the street. Got a little steak dinner. So I'm giving me a steak dinner once we're done with all this. But speaking of DeMarco Murray, right? Caleb Johnson. I feel like Caleb Johnson is an interesting prospect, right? I think originally he was kind of in that top 3, you know, and I can still kind of put him in it, but I feel like, you know, you could have a conversation where Henderson might have leapfrogged him, could be possibly where Judkins could possibly have leapfrogged him. But when it comes to Caleb Johnson, let's say we go with Lou, right? Go with Tyler Booker at 12, and we turn around and go with Caleb Johnson. How would you feel about that? I'm going to you, DMV.
I actually would love it because it would show direction. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I've been asking for. Like, I probably hate Booker at first, but then day 2 come around, we get Caleb Johnson. I'm like, all right, now it's matching what the hell y'all said y'all want to do with.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'd be mad, like I said, I'd be mad for a little bit, but then I'd be talking again.
So should we caution Cowboys fans to let it play out, right? Because I already know tomorrow night. Like I just know.
Oh no, I'm crashing.
If that pick is anything outside a wide receiver or running back, it's going to be captain crash out, and people are going to go crazy. But should we wait to see what they marry that with? Because like you said, if they go with Tyler Booker And then we all pissed off besides Lou and people cussing at Lou in the group chat and blocking him and shit. And, you know what I'm saying? Jumping in bosses live and going at him. But then on day 2, they married that with the Quinshon Judkins. I feel like it would be like, oh, okay, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you still won't be able to throw the ball to nobody. Like you still gonna run your ass out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You still gonna run your ass out there with Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, everybody else on the sun named Jalen can play for the Dallas Cowboys.
You have Jalen, and Tyler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So no, you're gonna be pretty much where you was last time. You have not gotten over the hump building your team this way. Now let's say that they're proactive, because let's say that one of these trades come through and they trade for Jameson Williams or something. I might shut up.
Yeah, bro, they gave me Jameson Williams.
It's done. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Come on, like, the trade.
I might find you 2 offensive linemen. I might feel so.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
you ain't gotta do that. Give me a D lineman. Give me a D lineman after that.
Yeah, you can go guard to the guard. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
You can go guard. You can go guard kicker. I don't give a damn. We got
hey, I did hear something interesting though. And person probably gonna kill me for saying this, but I did hear that they have a high grade on Tyler Warren, like a 1.
Nice. Nice, bro. Dr. Reed, you know what I'm saying?
That might be the best out of everybody's world. You know what I'm saying?
He's looking for to secure this weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's looking for to secure this weapon. You know what I'm saying? Or you go
football player. He's a football player, bro.
Quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
The tight ends did suck at blocking last year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I gotta jump off here, but I'm gonna say this last thing. If you do have to settle for a late round wide receiver, keep Savion Williams away from my team, man. That man could not catch AIDS from a prostitute. He couldn't catch AIDS from Magic Johnson. He got a blood transfusion. His hands is for decoration. If he was an action figure, the hand would come separately. So keep Savion Williams away from my franchise. We need niggas that can actually catch. That's all I gotta say. God bless y'all. I got work.
All right, Doug. All right, man.
I just made a mock of him.
I mean, I don't really mind Savion like that, but yeah, he does have a catching problem. But there are some lot of wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? I said, they got him right there. You know what I'm saying? Right here. You can set yourself up, bro. Now this clip is out if you are a pick. Yep. They'll pick it and they'll be like, Henny being negative, Henny being. Hey, that was Henny the Moore. That was not Jake Tuck. That was not DMV. That was not Luke. Because they're coming to me. You said that Savion. Like, all right,
I told him if he turned out to be something, he gonna be just like on Game of Thrones with the Walk of Atonement.
Yeah. Y'all ever seen that viral clip where Dak threw that pick 6 and you just see Mark fall out the chair? And then Michael in the background. You know what I'm talking about, Lou?
I think so.
Yeah, and then Michael's like, congratulations, Green Bay. I thank God I wasn't at Mark's house that day. That's like the most viral clip out of everything. I'm like, whew, thank the Lord. Yeah, we gonna be on that though. They're gonna catch us on that. Like, y'all just let them talk and y'all were smiling and laughing. Y'all was yucking it up.
No, bro. I was over here reading my Twitter, dog. You know what I'm saying? Right, I was over here reading my Twitter, man. Don't put me in that, man.
Or when they drafted Schoon and you see Sky Foots and
well, I think Schoon was the only pick that, because we wasn't even doing live shows. I think Sky and them had they pick, watching them had they shows, and I had my show, and we all had the same face. It was all universal. I was just like,
I already went off on Mozzie the day before, and I was got for that. Everybody was getting mad at me for that. So I was like, I ain't saying nothing. Don't look at me.
The worst thing about the Schoon Mozzie thing was it was in Kansas City, man. Y'all know how hard I worked for that draft. Like, it was in my own backyard. I went crazy with the coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was playing. We had DMV in my own crib. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be celebrating, bro. I walked out there with Mozzie.
We didn't even go to the Gronk party.
We didn't do nothing, bro. I had tickets for the Travis Kelce party. The Travis Kelce party, y'all, was literally like walking. Like, I could literally walk from my house to the party, right? I already bought me and my wife tickets to go. After we draft Schoonmaker, I was
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
bought
I
a
don't
ticket
wanna go,
too, and
dog.
I ain't go.
I don't want to go, dog. I was like, I don't want to go, dog. She's like, what are you gonna sell the tickets? I was like, man, I'll just take the L. She's like, you know, no, I'm all right. You know
That
what
was
I'm saying? I ain't gonna
$100
celebrate.
L, bro. I remember I took it too.
Yeah. Yeah, we all just took the L. You know what I'm saying? Because we had, we gonna go. Rick Ross was performing. I can literally hear it from my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go over there. All my homeboys hit me, man, you coming up to the Kelsey party? Nah, I'm cool, bro. What's wrong? Oh, we drafted Molly Smith, new Schoonmaker. I'm just gonna chill. That's I'm just gonna chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have fun. I was going, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. So
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I ended up doing that night. I was bitching on the phone to Aisha the whole time, like, what are we doing? Blah blah blah. She was like, they like school, they have a plan. I was like, nah. Like, nah, I'm walking around the hotel lobby.
So remember, the Luke Schoonmaker, if you guys go to my channel, I was trying to plan and find a way to comprehend the Luke Schoonmaker pick, right? So what did I do? Went back, dug in some more film of Luke Schoonmaker, power football, and I brought up our new offensive coordinator at the time, Brian Schottenheimer, and what was his philosophy? You know, let me see if I have it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see
that video.
Let me see if I still have this video, because I want y'all to hear. Let's see. I think I called it the new identity offense or some shit like that. Hold on.
Oh yeah, the new identity offense. I do remember that.
Let's see here. What was it? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna find it, y'all, because I want y'all to hear some of the things that Brian Schottenheimer was saying, and it sounds awfully similar to what we're hearing now. You know what I'm saying? And he sold me. He got me before, but like I tell everybody, it's week 6 for me. You know what I'm saying? It's week 6 for me. I don't want to.
I think McCarthy just overturned him. I think McCarthy was a very prideful. I don't want to use the word arrogant, but self-righteous. Like, he really believed his scheme was like, you know, like, because the way he went about it, like he wasn't the one to scheme anybody open. He was like, yeah, my scheme is king, and you're gonna go on. Like, everybody's gonna run a curl. Like, I don't care if your strength is like,
my scheme is my scheme.
My scheme is my scheme. We're gonna do what I say, and it showed in his work when he had Brandon Cooks running down the field and turning around.
Right. So let's see what Shotty had to say. Hold on.
The running game obviously it starts with the guys up front. You know, that mindset, the physical mindset, the ability where we're going to control the line of scrimmage. That's easier said than done. It's easy to have that mentality. I think a big part of it, obviously, is getting a guy like Mike Solari to come here and coach the offensive line. A lot of respect for Mike. He was with my father for a number of years. I coached with him for a year.
Wow.
Stable of backs that we have here is exciting. But when you emphasize things in coaching, you normally get results. And that's just something that we've talked about from the very beginning when I first started talking to Pete, was that was going to be something that you got to have the ability to run the football when people know you're going to run the football. And when you lose that, you kind of become one-dimensional, and that's hard. What are some of the hallmarks?
I'll tell you, bro, he's a smooth talker, though. Hey, he cold with the interviews, dog. You know what I'm saying? He is a well-oiled machine when it comes to stepping to that podium, man. So salute to Brian Schottenheimer. Like I said, I'm pulling for him, but I just want to see what it's going to be like when the live action bullets start flying. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going to be like with the live action bullets start flying, because it's easy to talk physicality and, you know, and do this and run the ball and trenches. Then when you're playing Kansas City and you're down by 14 to Pat Mahomes, and you abandon the run and start airing that thing out. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds all cute and cuddly now until you're down by 14 to Kansas City. Because I feel like that's what happened like in earlier games. It's just like, as soon as we got down, they were just like, you know what? Dak, go do your thing. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of games this year with our schedule. There's going to be some Dak, go do your things. And I want him to be able to go do his thing with some wide receivers that can actually help him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at. So I feel like the Cowboys should go weapons and prioritize it. But we'll see, man. So let everybody in the chat know what's going on with y'all picks at 12. I see it's all over the place. Like I think since we kind of moved on from the Genty idea and kind of know that's going, I think Mac might be the universal for Cowboys fans. You know what I'm saying? Would y'all agree?
Golden. A lot of Cowboys fans like Golden. A lot of Cowboy fans like him.
So what is the attraction with Golden outside the 4-2?
He's Texas. Longhorn. That's probably what it is. I mean, you could probably sell him.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? His last name is Golden, and he runs a 4.2. Jerry, that's a
But see, that's the
man.
thing. He doesn't. Because I went and watched. I went back to Houston. I haven't seen 4-2 play. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Either.
I just don't see 4-2 play. Like this should be a lot of 4-2 plays. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see it. And I think that could be their tracks. Now, of course, I'll say the main thing I love about Matthew Golden, he did step up big in big games, but I don't see why he would be a 12 pick overall and City would be 17.
I mean, that's my whole argument with this entire.
I think this is also a I don't want to say narrative, but an idea that I don't agree with. I don't think that he runs the best routes. I think his routes are choppy. I think his release is a little choppy. You know what I'm saying? But he's got away with it playing for Texas. I think the most purest route runner I've scouted in this year's draft would be Emeka Ibuka. And then I would probably say
I got another one.
Kyron Williams out of Kyron Williams.
What about Tez, bro? What about Tez?
Well, yeah, I would say Tez is probably third.
People sleeping on Tez, and Tez might be like a 5th round player, but he can ball, bro.
I would love for Coach Adams to get Tez back. You know what I'm saying? Because
I have a red flag with Tez though.
What was the red flag with Tez?
I feel like I don't care about the size. Like if you savvy with it, you savvy. I think a lot of the times they will line him up to the field, and in college the hashes are like
wide fields, right?
50 yards apart. So the field would be like 60 yards long, and they'll run these bubble routes and run these digs and get him one-on-one, and he have like ultra amount of space to work with. Versus when he comes to the league, it's them skinny hashes. I don't know it's going to be the same amount of space. So hopefully he's not claustrophobic.
Now, what I will tell you about that is when they had him at practice, bro, there was nobody that could stay with him in the Senior Bowl. So it's like I think he's gonna be able to win. I feel you though. That is something to talk about. But if we talking about somebody with a round 4 grade, like at that point, that's something like you getting a Tez at that point. It's like you ain't really caring about stuff like that.
So let me ask you this, DMV, would that be enough? Right? Let's say we win offensive line, running back, right, defensive tackle, and then mess around and got Tez in the 5th. Would that be enough to satisfy the wide receiver 2 need, or is it still like we still missed out?
I still think we would. I still don't like the guys on our, but I love Tez. I love what Tez would do. I think that like you talk about a Brandon Cooks replacement. I think that he could definitely fit that because he's a better route runner. He has better hands than Brandon Cook. Let's just keep it a buck. There were a lot of things we couldn't do because Brandon Cooks was a body catcher and he couldn't track the football at the highest point.
Brandon Cooks got Mike McCarthy packed up, man.
Yeah. So I think that would be your Brandon Cooks replacement. But I still think we'd be looking for 2. But I think that we'd have enough to where I think we could have an identity and play balanced football. So if that's
my thing is like, do we need a Brandon Cooks? Like, why does it have to be a Brandon Cooks replacement? But we don't need a
because that's what Dak like. Dak like them little dudes that can do that.
I forgot.
Yeah, Dak like them little dudes that can get that be inside the hashes and that can, what I'm saying? He like that. Obviously, for some reason.
I think Dak needs a bigger. If we're gonna go Tez, we need to go archetype. Like we got to replace the Jalen's with an archetype. A big. I'm praying for Flournoy, but I'm scared that we're gonna be going too small at the receiver position because we already got Turpin, who's taking up the space.
I forgot about Ryan Flo too, bro.
Well, if I don't have to use Turpin, I don't want to use him. If you get what I'm saying in the receiver room, you know what I'm saying. Like if I get a Tez, I'm getting him for the purpose of not using him.
Well, we got to pack up one of them Jalen bags. Somebody.
So, I was going to mention another one. You know what I'm saying? Don't boom in the chat. But what about like Jalen Noel
from Iowa State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a great I like him. Like he's a great vertical threat. I think he's a sneaky good route runner as well. Quick.
Right. Yeah, because you could go with Jalen Noel probably. You could go with Jack Besh, you know what I'm saying? Because I like Jack Besh out of LSU. I love his LSU film as well. Even he's a TCU kid. He was was he a Dallas local visit, right? He was a local visit.
Yeah, Dallas Day.
Yeah, Dallas Day visit. So, that could be a guy that I think he fits the Dak likes, kind of mold. But hell with Dak Rice, bro.
I'm about to say Dak
Yeah,
like
the hell,
over.
yeah, the hell what he like. Oh,
Dak ran out there and started games with damn near Dennis Houston, man. I ain't trying to hear no shit about what Dak.
yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
he okay, Alan Hearns,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, he signed up on Alan Hearns, Dennis Houston, Noah Brown. Hey, bro. Hey, pass the aux score, Dak. I got you, dog. Like, yeah.
Dak can't be in control of that type of stuff like that. Yeah, I see
I
who
love
go over
Jalen
your house,
Noel.
bro. We see
He ain't no
He
LeBron.
and used more vertically Iowa State. Apparently, his last name's pronounced like Seminoles. Yeah, he's a Kansas City kid. That's what I'm saying on Twitter. Is like, I need to go watch some high school football. It's be so busy because there's a lot of kids in the draft from Ahmad Membu's from KC, Ursery's from KC, Noel's from KC. Just like 7 other top prospects from Kansas City. And the Chiefs probably gonna get all 3 of them. Jalen Noel probably gonna go right to Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna overload Pat.
They can have Ursery.
Yeah, they gonna
So they can have Ursery.
You don't like Ursery?
I don't like Ursery.
Yeah, he's a little sluggish, bro. But yeah, I like Jalen Noel. So can I see that people were saying that, right? They feel like you have to get wide receiver at 12 or else it's a crapshoot. But if you were not to get wide receiver at 12, like, who would you consider? Like, so would Trey Harris be a guy, or is that kind of just another Mingo to y'all? Or would Higgins be a guy, or is that just another, like, it's a wash? I just feel
Higgins,
like
Higgins would be my Tet. That's my Tet, my diet Tet plan.
your diet Tet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's actually my round 2. Like, that was my round 2 receiver that I was looking at, possibly getting them there. Plus, you know what I'm saying, you could put them in the slot and a little bit like that. I got a couple of diet Tet plans. You know what I'm saying? Ty Felton being another one out of Maryland. We had to get him late. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a couple of guys that I think could be that. I just wouldn't want to lead with that. So I just shut up about it, you know?
I don't have a second one because there's a lot of guys. I like Savion Williams is like what he can do athletically, but it's gonna be a period with him. I really like, for a double dip, if you want to double dip a receiver, I really like Nick Nash out of San Jose State. Really,
we know you like Nick Nash, bro.
Yeah, I really like Nick Nash. I think he's a receiver that can very much so add that we've been needed in contested catches. Only thing is he can't separate, but
I would say at San Jose State, though, like, do you really like that separation factor playing the type of competition he's playing?
I mean, San Jose State's still AA. You know, I would take, if I'm gonna take Gray Zabel from FCS, I'm gonna take San Jose State.
Right.
So that's still D1 AA.
We drafted whatchamacallit. That was
Colorado State, right?
No, that was a junior. No, he was from Junior Fiocco. Was he from there?
Yeah.
He was San Diego State. Yeah, Junior Fiocco. Yeah. So
I was just talking about
what about another guy that I like is Alec Iomanner out of Washington. So I feel like he's a guy. I don't know if he's like been talking. Like, I hate to say like a sleeper, like right before the draft. I'm not sure who's been talking about it, right? But I feel like he's a guy that I really haven't heard a lot of people really talk about, who has really like second round talent. You know, he plays physical, but I think he's like 6'1", about almost, give or take. So he could be another one of those guys that's kind of a tough outside wide receiver that you could bring in to possibly be your day 2 guy at 44 that could possibly be there for you. But Torrey Horton, love Torrey Horton. We all know what he did versus Colorado in that Travis Hunter game. But that lack of 4 hurts again. Yeah, he's probably going to go 4th round, so he probably for Torrey Horton. But he fits with the Dallas Cowboys, like, you know what I'm saying, coming off an injury, someone that fits that mold.
Colorado State.
Yeah, Colorado State. Alec had a weird career. His second half against Colorado was incredible. Never saw the same guy on film again, but his quarterback play was terrible his whole career. Yeah, so you saw the flash.
That's the common theme of all these receivers, man.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That's what a lot of people aren't talking about, right? Even if you look at just from a draft perspective, we're even talking about just 2 quarterbacks that people are considered a first-round talent, right? Well, a lot of these quarterbacks were the people that the wide receivers played with, whether it's Quinn Ewers or I say Jackson Dart is probably a second-round guy, but Jackson Dart is decent. But it's like outside of that, like these guys weren't playing with the elite quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot
And
of
their
people
offense
watch Luther Bird. I'm like, did you go watch Brady Cook? Like, did you go see that for yourself? You know, like damn, bro, like what are we doing? So his production decrease. Yeah, you think? You know what I'm saying? You think? Like Brady Cook was terrible.
They over there playing like a 9-year-old Timmy on NCAA, bro. They got 4 plays in the playbook.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say about Alec and Amin Yor. Like, I like his size and I like what he did versus, Travis, but I didn't see enough of it, and I didn't see enough of it because Stanford is just so bad offensively, and that's what I don't like. I realized my Achilles heel when I'm scouting these receivers. That's why I'm low on Burton. And my only thing with Burton, I don't know if he can run routes, but I think I see it because after the catch, he got some damn wiggle, but I didn't see it before the catch. It's like, what they're asking him to do is a bunch of Debo, like, oh my God, I've seen Debo run more vertical routes.
Right. And my bad. I meant Alec out of Stanford. I think I said Washington, but that's Kyron. So yeah, how true are the rumors about trading for Jameson Williams? I don't know. Jameson Williams. I don't know. I haven't heard it. So I'm not putting no attention to it. I'll believe it when I see it. But y'all know, Cowboys fans, watch out for the and one. Pull the ball around your head. Put your shirt over your back. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, oh God, it's a hot salt. You know what I'm saying? So nah, let's keep my head down. And Kyton Crawford, safety out of Nevada. So let's pivot over to safety real quick, man, for DMV on the road, man. I'm probably going to go get something to eat here in a minute. Safety. So when it comes to the safety position, do you think we should eye a true safety like a Free or maybe a hybrid like an Upton Stout who can play safety but also has cornerback traits to possibly fill that void? DMV, I'll start with you, bro.
Hopefully I'm not echoing, but I think that we should target the hybrid type, simply because we lost. Oh, my bad. Simply because we lost Jordan Lewis, and I think Jordan Lewis, that was kind of his role with us. So I think anybody that can play the slot, that can play some of these tight ends and stuff, man to man, but also play some hook to curl, stuff like that. Like, I think we should be looking for that at safety.
Yeah. How about you, Lou?
I want a true safety. I'm trying to get Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson bags all the way packed off this team. I want somebody at the roof because that's going to be one of the main things on this Falusa's defense is setting up their roof. And what happened last year, like, I know like this emphasis that Zimmer had in his safeties and rocking and rolling, but I just I'm ready to move on from the safeties. I was ready last year. What an undrafted guy, and they didn't do it then. So I would like, if it's a Makuba there, please take Makuba.
So do you think, though, with the re-signing of Bell and Wanya, that they're going to get that opportunity? Or are you still wanting to bring in additionals?
I mean, I just want one more to that room. One more. And we can, and let's let Bell, because I don't think Bell, it's just a lot for both of them, right? Like I want to upgrade like tremendously, especially at least Wilson, but I'm tired of Malik Hooker, especially on that last play in the Commanders over letting them. Well, actually, he did good by letting them score, but should have did that early in the season.
Right. Yeah, we could be talking about some Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter right now. But I don't trust him on the show versus the damn Commanders. You know what I'm saying? I see Billy Bowman out there. It's a safety. I mean, Lou, you're very familiar with KP. I think he's a guy that can play, top play safety as well. But I mentioned Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. I love Xavier Watts. I don't think he's going to
be difference maker, bro.
He's a difference maker. I'm looking for game changers. I feel like that would be a guy that if you bring him in, shit. Somebody, you know what I'm saying?
If they got Watts in round 2, I wouldn't be mad, bro.
I wouldn't be mad at all.
I wouldn't be mad. That's why I'm saying I don't want old lineman, bro. I don't want old lineman pairing
first. That would be something brand new. Yeah, and that would be like, okay, Shawty, what we doing, bro? The Dallas Cowboys went safety in the second round, and it's got a game changer. Like, I know a lot of people on Twitter would hate it. Oh, look at that positional value. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cared down my positional value, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, game changers are game changers. And I talked about seeing right now. Went to Baltimore out of Notre Dame.
Cal
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Kyle
Yeah,
Hamilton,
I don't give a damn about no positional value, bro. Kyle Hamilton was outstanding. I remember like everyone trying to hate him because of his 40 speed. I was like, no. This kid, I single-handedly saw him just tear Florida State apart. And I was like, damn, bro, what do we do to you? So it's like, I think that, Xavier Watts, Malachi Starks will probably be a Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry about that, Nick Emanuari, I think he's probably going to go first round just off of his. I mean, that was a dude that I don't know what he was on, but I told everybody he was going to do it. And, man, he went out there like a creative player and just smoked that combine. I was like, damn, bro, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he may have – that may be a Commanders or Eagles pick.
I mean, he has Dan Quinn all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a linebacker, a safety convert that can run like a 4.3 and jump out the gym. And, you know, I'm like, I was like, he's going to probably be a Commander. There's also I know someone mentioned Andrew Makuba. Malachi Moore out of Bama. That's another name to probably look into. So, I can see safety.
Ransom is my dude, Lou. I love Ransom, bro.
Lathan Ransom out of Ohio State.
I'm just like, I was like, Ransom. Yeah.
The hardest part about Ransom, I tell people, bro, it's hard to watch him because the other safety. Give
me that safety, please.
Yeah. You sell it for the ugly friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your whole girl over there, man. But you get Caleb Downs next year, bro. But this kid is outstanding. You know,
oh my God. Oh, we need to take it again.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
We need two picks. I need a receiver.
How crazy I scouted his brother and Josh, bro. It's like I be watching. That's how I learned about him. I was like, oh, there's another one.
Are they related?
Yeah, it's a brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he got because his dad playing the lead. Their dad played. That's when I scouted Josh down, bro. I knew his mom or his daddy. You know what I'm saying? I knew everything about him. And I was like, damn, we got a brother that's back. And he was at Bama, right? Yeah, he was at Bama first.
Yeah, he was.
Ohio State. So they got some guys. I'm trying to think. You know, really not a fan. I saw some people talking about Sebastian Castro out of Iowa. Not a fan. So it kind of gets bleak after that. But Upton Stout is a name. Elijah Clark, Syracuse, another name I like. And then also R.J. Mickens out of Clemson. But after that, it kind of just falls off. So I would probably say maybe 5th round, you could probably stash a safety, but I don't see the Cowboys going any earlier than that, especially with the third pick. But it'd be different. They did it. They did it, man. Definitely did it. All right, fellas, man. I'm gonna let y'all jump, man. I appreciate y'all jumping in for rocking with me, yo. We're gonna continue to do this. I'm probably gonna go back live tonight because I ain't got shit else to do. And I really don't want to go to the Budweiser party, you know what I'm saying? So I'm probably gonna go grab something to eat and shit. I might be live here back in a second, yo. But DMV, my dog, for everyone seeing you for the first time, let everybody know they can find you.
Hey, y'all can find me at DMV Fanatic on YouTube, DMV Fanatic 1 on Twitter, and then DMV Fanatic on Instagram.
All right, I definitely give my dog a follow. And Lou, y'all ain't gotta follow Lou, man, because y'all don't want to hear no offensive line. I was saying, no. You know what I'm saying? Lou came on the show. They put targets on that boy. T Weapons had targets on Lou.
Hey, yeah, it was like pew, 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 pew.
Let everybody know they can find you, my guy.
Yeah, you can find me at Lou Takes, LOU Takes, or LOU.takes on some of the social media. But you know who we do this for. The first blame and the last congratulated.
Yeah, exactly. Offensive lineman, big offensive lineman.
They put the scope on my boy.
Yes,
we hear you. We hear it, but I ain't trying to hear none of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jerry. Hey, bro, that's why you can't go offensive line. You guys sell some jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got 2 different colors of Micahs. We didn't got all the CDs. We didn't got all the things.
I'm not putting on the number 65, dog.
I ain't seen one Cowboys fan walking around Dallas in a Tyler Guyton jersey, bro. You gotta sell some jerseys, dog.
I was gonna buy. I'm finna get me a Tyler Smith jersey. Watch.
I might give me a Cooper Beebe joint. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, these players changing numbers every other week. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust it. I might get me a Rowdy jersey because you know what I'm saying, something like that for Professor O. And then appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. So Jay Tuck, CFO Sports, go ahead and like the channel, subscribe to the channel. I will be live on Radio Row tomorrow. Probably have these fellas jump back in as we discuss the draft, get prepared for pick 12. Gonna be a long, fun night. And we'll see how everything shapes out. We'll probably all be watching the draft, a little antsy. You know what I'm saying? A little antsy, seeing how some of these players fall. But also, you can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. We appreciate all the support. Like I said, I'll probably go live again tonight, but I am starving. I'm at 8 today, and I've been up since 2 a.m. to catch these flights, man. So I'm about to go chill out. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate all the super chats, all the love and support, Cowboys Nation. We want to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and team weapons, don't give up. Stand packed. Peace.